Well, basically my research is about healthy aging, with emphasis on the healthy aging brain. And the way I approach this is by doing MRI scan of big cohorts and population studies. With aging, I know that we have a lot of changes in the brain. Vascular risk factors means a lot. And it seems that vascular risk factors might also have an effect on the risk of developing hearing impairment. And the recent paper in Lancet saying that hearing loss is one of the biggest risk factors for dementia completely took me by surprise, and a lot of people by surprise, because we haven't really looked at that before. But for me, it really determines that hearing loss has so many aspects, and it's with social relations, its relationship to what is happening in the brain with normal aging, but also potential preventable risk factors. We have some researchers at the Danish Research Centre for Magnetic Resonance, and they're actually working on hearing impairment. And I think that we need to actually determine very early markers, not just determined by the way we assess hearing impairment today, but also find other biomarkers. For instance, MRI, where we can actually very, very early determine that these people are at risk. And in that relation, I'm thinking about the peripheral versus the central hearing impairment, because as I know, the peripheral is actually thought to be the main reason in aging. And that's fine, but are we good enough? Are we really, are the method we use sensitive enough to actually detect hearing impairment? And that taking into the context of a world that we live in, young people live in, even elderly people living, where there's a lot of noise. How does that actually affect the peripheral hearing function? And does that have an effect on our risk of developing hearing impairment? We need to determine whether we have to be better at detecting that.